Welcome to Tried and True with a Dash of Woo, where we blend rock solid tips with a little bit of magic. I'm Renee Bowen, your host, life and business coach, and professional photographer at your service. We are all about getting creative, diving into your business, and playing with manifestation over here. So, are you ready to get inspired and have some fun? Let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to Tried and True with the Dash of Woo. I'm your host, Renee Bowen, and today's episode is titled Vibrate Higher to Create Louder. It's a juicy one. We're going to get into it. It's not going to be super long, but my intention with this episode is to activate you in a really positive way. Because too many of you guys are stuck. I'm hearing so many of you guys in my DMs. You are feeling the weight of the world. You are creating from your past and not where you want to go. And so, you know what? We need to change that. And there's a lot of noise out there, and there's a lot of quote unquote coaches and a lot of people telling you all of these different things. And I just want to sort of break through that noise today and give you some really good clarity. Okay, so before we dive in, I just want to remind all of you guys who are high school senior photographers that I am running a spring sale on my creative team method, and it's only going to be available until April 16th. But right now, you can get it for $650 off. I'm also going to be adding to this in the next couple of months, and I'm hosting a live Q&A on Zoom on April 23rd for all the new people who are going to buy it during this sale, as well as anybody else who already owns it. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific time on the 23rd. This is your chance to come and ask me your burning questions. So I want to give you a few days to soak it in, right? So get in there. It's not that long of a program, but it is very, very meaty. So there's a lot of modules, and I separate things in a very systematic way for you. This is not like a surface level, run a senior rep team like everybody else sort of thing. Okay. This is a very different thing. And there's actually now a handful of other photographers out there who are basically teaching this because they went through my method, which that's a whole other story, but y'all know me and you know that I operate from a place of abundance. So it's all good. All that to say, I don't do things like everybody else. And I've been teaching this method for a long time now. I've always run my senior rep team in a very different way than most other senior photographers. And I want you to run your team in a way that works for you. Okay, so when I coach one-on-one with people, for instance, they get access to the creative team method because they get my vault of education, but we tailor it to them. So there's a lot of different ways you can take this program and make it your own, even on your own. Okay, you don't need me to walk you through it. That's just for people who really do need the extra help. That's there for them. But you can do this on your own. In fact, there's a whole module in there that talks about all the different ways you can run your team successfully. Because here's the thing, I want you to be profitable at it. I want you to make money running a senior rep team. And I want you to run it in a way that is actually going to bring you clients, because that is a whole purpose of a senior rep team. If you are running a rep team and you are not getting clients year round, something is wrong. Now, our younger clients, our Gen Z clients, our Gen Alpha clients coming up, they're not going to be sharing in the same way as our clients in the past did. But a lot of senior photographers are still running their senior rep teams in a way that assumes that their clients are just going to automatically share, or they force them to share. Neither of those things work. Your clients are not going to just organically share without you coaching them through it, but they're also not going to share if you make them. Like, that's a whole different vibe. So all that to say, this is a very meaty method. It is very much my own, from trial and error, seeing things that worked for years and years. I've been doing this a really long time. So the reason why it is normally priced at $997 is because you're not going to find this information anywhere else. I do like to run sales on it periodically because I do want more people to have access to it. So now is your chance to get it for a much cheaper price. And you can even make payments on it. Like at checkout, you'll see you have the option to use Klarna. So you can make payments on this. Even if you can't afford the low price tag right now, go ahead and make payments on it. Just get it done. And no, it's not too late to start this for class of 2026, which is why I like to run a sale in spring, because you guys need to be putting something into place now so that you can get booked for summer and fall. A lot of y'all are not booked for summer and fall. This is going to help you change that. Okay, so that's my little promo for you guys for the Creative Team Method. The link for that is in the show notes. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram at Renee Bowen. Happy to chat. Don't miss this sale though. It ends on the 16th. Okay, let's get into today's topic. First of all, I do believe that all of us are master creators, okay? We definitely have the ability to create whatever it is we desire. But a lot of us create what we don't want. And it's not your fault. Okay, so most of us were taught to observe reality, right? To point at what is and say, see, that's just the way it is. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The more that you observe what you don't want, the more you create it. A lot of times I get on a coaching call with people and I'll say, okay, so what is it that you really want? What is the business you want to create? Like, tell me what you want. And they'll lead with, well, I want to stop working with clients who don't appreciate me. I'm sick of not making any money. They start talking about where they are or where they've been, not where they want to go. And that's most of our default setting, unfortunately. I remember a season where I was taking every job, every client, every crumb the universe sent me. I was in full-on hustle mode, believing that if I just worked hard enough, the universe would just eventually reward me. But all I kept manifesting was burnout, more clients who drained me, a business that looked good from the outside, but really did not feel aligned on the inside, because the vibration that I was offering was fear, scarcity, and self-betrayal. I was creating my reality on default, from survival, from old stories, and from trauma. So the message here is that your thoughts are not as innocent as you think they are. They're sending out signals, and they're placing orders with the universe. Every time you say or think, nobody's buying right now, the economy sucks, I'm not as good as her, I suck at selling, you're literally reinforcing that frequency. The unconscious mind hears repetition and says, got it, let me help make that true for you. This is not about blame, okay? So I definitely want to make sure I mention that this is not about bypassing. If you've been through some real shit in your life, some trauma, and let's be real, most of us have, whether it's a big trauma or a little trauma, it's yours. This is really about recognizing that the nervous system will always prioritize safety over success. As a rule, humans will do more to avoid pain instead of seeking pleasure. That's just how our systems are wired. But no, you don't have to be high vibe all the time. You just need to get conscious about what you keep feeding your unconscious mind, because what you rehearse, you repeat, and what you repeat, you create. I want you to think about your unconscious mind like a Pinterest board. Okay, every thought, every emotion, every belief, it gets pinned. Not just the pretty affirmations, though, but also the anxious overthinking, the fear, the resentment, the comparison. The universe scrolls through your board and says, oh, this must be what she's into. Let's send her more of that. So if your board is full of pins like, nothing works, I'm always behind, she's better than me, you're going to get more situations that reflect that energy. That's just the way energy works. But when you start pinning clarity, boldness, joy, audacity, now you're changing the aesthetic and the algorithm. You don't need to fight for what you want. You just need to curate your internal board differently. And I want to mention something that a lot of people don't want to admit, which is neediness repels. Okay, so you know that feeling when you post something and you're secretly thinking, God, I really hope this works. I hope people like me. I hope I don't look dumb. That's not confidence. That's contraction. It's constriction, and it's neediness. And it's closed off energy. It's low vibe, right? Your frequency is lower when you're doing that. When you try to be more like her, whoever that is, you water yourself down. And energetically, the universe picks up on that. It goes, oh, you don't believe you're enough. Cool, let's reflect more of that. Magnetism comes from audacity, okay? From saying, I am not for everyone, but I am for me. From holding your frequency without apology, even when it makes other people uncomfortable. You can't fake this vibe. You have to calibrate it. You don't need to try harder. You just need to take up space. One of the things that I like to tell my coaching students to practice this and to get really good at it is to literally just take up your own space. And here's how you do it. Sit down anywhere. Give yourself about 10 minutes. You don't even need that long, maybe sometimes even 5. Sit down, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in and out, really feel your vibration around you, your energy around you, and give it a color. And then I want you to expand your field of energy. When you breathe in, it's like you're taking all the energy in. And then when you breathe it out, it's like a whoosh. And you can give it a visual, right? See that colorful, energetic field expand at once. Make it go 10 feet out. Then make it go 100 feet out. Then make it go a mile. Then make it go 10 miles, 100 miles, 500 miles. Take up space. You are here to be the most you that you can possibly be. Stop trying to be like everybody else. That person that you're probably trying to not offend on the internet or hope that, likes you, do you really care? Are you going to care in 5 years? Probably not. Life is too short. This could all end right now. If you were called to start this business, if you were called to turn this passion, this hobby, this thing that you really love, that you happen to be good at, if you were called to take that and turn it into a business, there is a reason, okay? You are divinely guided. The universe doesn't make mistakes, guys. Stop doubting yourself. Take up space. And this whole business of creating what you don't want, right? That is just sort of our default setting. Most of us are creating from our past experiences, the things that are stuck in our unconscious mind, or from our present reality, which in a lot of cases is not ideal, right? I don't have enough money. I don't have enough clients. I'm not thin enough. I don't feel pretty enough. I have wrinkles on my face, whatever it is. If you're constantly thinking about what you don't have and what you don't want, you're just going to get more of that. And this is not about blaming you, okay? Let me just be clear about that. Like, I know there's a lot of chatter in like the, new age spiritual community about like spiritual bypassing and, all of this stuff about what about real trauma? What about things that actually happen to people? Yes, bad things happen to people. Okay, I do not want this to be like, hey, just think good thoughts and you're going to be fine. That's not what I'm talking about here. But how do you stop creating from what you don't want? You interrupt the damn pattern, okay? And not with fake positivity, but with better questions. You can ask yourself things like, what version of me is choosing this? Because everything is a choice. What would I already believe if my success was inevitable? What energy am I putting out before I even open my mouth? Most of us are just believing the feelings that we have, and feelings are not facts, guys. Feelings just come and go. Your thoughts come and go. But if you think a thought constantly and you start to believe it, that belief is going to get in there, and then you're going to start operating from that instead of where you want to go. So what I want you to do is just entertain the fact that if you focus more on where you want to go, and again, you got to have some clarity on that. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Allow yourself the audacity to even think about that. Tune out all the noise that says, you shouldn't be doing that. Who are you to believe that you can have this? None of that is your intuition. All of that is noise and unconscious programming, whether it's from your parents, from people or on the internet, whatever it is, but you got it in there and you are starting to believe it. And the way to stop that is to interrupt that pattern. And this does take discipline. Okay? This isn't going to just do like a one-time thing like, oh, hey, listen to this hypnosis track I have for you guys, which by the way, I do have a free one. Listen to this hypnosis track every day. That's it. You're done. You actually have to commit to wanting to be in a different vibration, okay? Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So if you want a business, let's just say, for example, you want to build a business that is obviously profitable, abundant, you want to maybe, you get very clear on how many clients you want to serve and the price point and all of that stuff, okay? What is the feeling that you will have? The feeling in your body that you will have when you have that. Allow yourself to actually feel on a daily basis, many times a day, how that's going to feel in your body. Just go there with it. The more that you allow yourself to be in that energetic space, the more you're going to start creating that vibration right now, even in the place where you don't want to be. even if you're not making any money. You are creating the vibration of that, the thing that you want. And so the universe has no choice but to send that to you because you are creating it right now. You're finding abundance now. You're finding happiness now. You're finding joy now in every little moment. You cannot hate where you are and get where you want to go, right? If it's somewhere bigger, better, more, you can't hate your life and beat yourself up on the daily and get there. The same goes true like for people who like are trying to lose weight, let's say. You can't hate your body into being something you love. You have to love yourself through it. So asking yourself better questions is a really great way to start this. And then get it in your body. Breathe it in. You can do tapping, movement exercises, somatic, hypnosis, meditation, journaling, all of that stuff. Whatever helps you feel that shift and not just think about it, because thoughts alone are not going to create that vibration. You got to move the energy. You got to feel it. And you also are going to have a hard time maintaining that if you are surrounded by people who are quote unquote low vibe, people who are not on that wavelength or who are constantly feeling negative and telling you things like you can't have that. Who are you to believe that? It's going to be a lot harder for you to maintain that. It's not impossible. People do it all the time, right? That's why you hear these stories about people who like come from literal nothing. And some of the worst, most awful stories you can possibly imagine, major abuse, major trauma, and they shift out of it. Okay, so I really believe that the contrast that we see is what starts us on this journey, okay? The contrast meaning, I don't like this. I don't want to be here anymore. This is not ideal. I don't like not making money. I don't like beating myself up. I don't want to keep comparing myself to somebody else. Like, this doesn't feel good. It starts with you noticing that. But if you're out there just hypnotically living your life and you're not, paying attention to your thoughts, you're just going to kind of keep going down that path. But I have a feeling that if you're listening to this podcast, you are already paying attention. So congrats, that's the first step, right? But a lot of people just don't know how to get out of that step. You might be stuck in that step of noticing, and then you judge yourself, which is not the next step. You have to get to a place of neutrality. So it's not about you like noticing a non-ideal thought and going, I suck. See, this is why I'm stuck. This is why I can't have anything nice. It's not about judging yourself. You have to stop beating yourself up, right? It's about noticing and then stopping yourself in that moment and pulling yourself out of it, looking at it as a neutral observer. Okay, I'm not asking you to go from feeling really crappy about yourself and beating yourself up, because a lot of people have a very nasty inner saboteur. I'm not asking you to go from that place to like all the way, I'm amazing. That is a huge jump. You've got to take little steps incrementally to get there. But I just want you to at least try and be neutral about it, because neutrality is a really great place to manifest from. It's not that needy place. You're not holding on to it too tightly. You're not closing off the energy. You're open. You're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And that's something you can practice doing a lot of, is noticing these thoughts. And instead of going right to that, like beating yourself up, just stop and go, that's really interesting that I would think that. I wonder where that comes from. And then move on. Because reality is not created from your logic. It's created from your state, right? Like I said before, you don't get what you want. You get what you are. What kind of state are you living in on the daily? Are you constantly in fight or flight? Are you constantly, beating yourself up? Are you constantly thinking negative thoughts all the time? Again, don't beat yourself up if that is a yes answer from you. Like if you said, oh yeah, that's me. Okay, I want you to just stop and go, that's interesting. I would like to change that. That contrast is there for a reason. The contrast is there for you to make change. If you choose to, everything is a choice. I'm not telling you you have to, but I believe that if you are seeing this contrast, it is an opportunity for you to go, okay, I'm going to change that. And it's never too late to change it, by the way. Never. You can start right now. You can start small. You can start messy. You just need to start. So if you take nothing else from today's episode, I want you to try and let it be this. You're always creating every moment, every thought, every energetic broadcast. You don't need to wait until you're more healed, more qualified, or more ready. You just need to decide that this version of you is worthy of the next level experience. You are worthy right now. You get to play, you get to enjoy, you get to stop hustling for crumbs and start creating from flow. You get to decide all of that, nobody else. And there are going to be times where you find this harder or easier than others. That's just life. It's not about being perfect and staying in it constantly. We all fall off. It's about how well you recover. And I want you to remind yourself that you are well resourced. Again, if you're listening to this podcast, you are probably doing some other things that are helping your mindset. You're probably already open and willing to receive all that the universe wants for you. It is your divine birthright to have it. Even if you've been told that you're too much, even if you've been told that your brain is too overactive, you have too many ideas, nobody needs to be doing all of those things, right? Like a lot of us creatives are just built this way. We have a lot of ideas and not all of them are meant for us to finish, okay? What if some of your crazy, wacky ideas are there to just make you feel good? Okay. That's a win, because when you feel good, you raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you can create whatever it is you want because you're open, you're receiving. Okay. It's not a closed off energy. When you're creating, when you're in flow, when you're having fun, when you're enjoying your life, you're allowing yourself to receive. You're open and you're not putting limitations on, okay, well, I only want, money from this source. That's constrictive. That's why I love to say things like, I would love this or something better. That's cool. The key, though, is the feeling. The key is to stay in that energetic place. And I know a lot of people have a hard time doing that on their own. I get it. And trust me, even in my coaching container, I have one-on-one clients who are in a great place for weeks on end, because I'm working with them for 6 months at a time, some even over a year. And then all of a sudden something will happen, whether it's kids getting sick or getting a big tax bill, right? There's things that happen that are going to throw us off of this vibration. But the key is that if you're doing this consistently, it is becoming a habit for you. So it's so much easier for you to just get right back into that flow. And it's all a choice, right? So stop beating yourself up because that's not doing you any good. It's not productive at all. You were meant to shine bright. You were meant to live the life that you want to live on your terms. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's. It shouldn't look like anybody else's. Let that go, okay? If you needed permission for that's your permission. Let it go. So stop settling for what you've accepted you should have. Vibrate higher, create louder, take up space. You are worthy now. And for God's sake, stop waiting to create something when it's perfect, because that's never going to happen. Just start. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox because I could talk about this all day. If this resonated with you, share it with a friend. Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. You guys know I love to chat with you. I have resources for you in the show notes. If you're looking for ways to continue doing this work, I have lots of options for you, and you get to decide what feels good to you. And for those of you guys who want a roadmap to help you with your senior photography business, don't forget, Creative Team Method is only on sale for another week. That link is below for you as well. Grab it while you can and start creating more intentionally. But no matter what you choose, remember, you're not too much. You're creating from a frequency that isn't truly you. Turn the dial, broadcast the real you, and just watch what unfolds. You create your own reality. I'll see you next week. Love ya. Bye.